Hi guys, and excited to be with you today for this show. I've got a really great one. I've got so much help to give you to get visible, to get sales, to grow your wonderful, wonderful business through live videos and podcasts. It is mega. So stay with me in second. So, do you really want to get more audience? Do you want to get more sales? Make more impact with your wonderful, wonderful business that you love. Grow that audience, make an impact in this world, make a difference in this world. If you do, then you've come to the right place. I do too. And we're going to be talking about how to 6 ways to get more viewers and get more listeners to your live video and or your podcast. So if you've got a podcast already, fantastic, this will help you. If you haven't got one, I can help you too. We can get you started. I've got a great training coming up for you, free training. If you're not interested in podcasting, that's absolutely fine. This will help you too because it is about live video and also videos in general. So great to see you here. Thank you for watching in the group. If you could just press in the description, it says Ecamm, allow Ecamm to see your name. So in a Facebook group, you just have to press that. It's very, very easy to do and it will take you straight back into this training. So thank you so much for being here. So let's get into the training now. So we've got 6 ways to get viewers and grow your heart-centered business. So the first thing is to tell people about it. Tell people that you are going live. Scheduling it is great. I don't know whether you saw my thumbnail on Facebook. I've also made the thumbnail smaller on Canva using the Pro resize. You can do it without the Canva Pro and resize it and make it smaller and tell people that you're going live on Facebook. And then you can also go do a mini live on Instagram afterwards. That's quite a good technique. You can send out emails. So a great technique that I've seen, somebody called Kim Gast. She's amazing entrepreneur. Do follow her if you don't already. She teaches people all sorts about business. She's been in the online business space for a long, long time, and she really helps people get set up in their business. And she sends 2 emails. She's got a live show and she's just creating a new live show soon, which I'm excited about. And she sends an email out like a day before. Her show is every week. She interviews some great people on it. Hi Melissa, lovely to see you. Thank you for watching. She interviews some really interesting people, all sorts of famous and not so famous people she's had on there teaching all sorts of business. And she sends an email about a day before saying about what it's going to be and what there is in it for us to watch, and she'll have a link to it. And then she sends an email about an hour before saying, I'm going live in an hour. Here is the link. If you want to get notifications, press that interested and there's a little star. So that's really good to do. Get people from your email list to watch your videos. And you can do the same with podcast as well. Let them get excited, and by saying I've got a new podcast episode coming out in a few days or tomorrow or whatever, have you always wanted to blah blah blah, it's about this. And then while with the podcast, when you've just dropped the podcast, you can put a link in there and say new show out now about such and such. So shout out your show, shout out your podcast episode, and that will definitely get more people listening and watching. And you can do that on social media as well. If you have a thumbnail there, you can message people. in the DMs. And another thing that you can do is, for going live on social media, if you get 5 people watching your show, the algorithm will start spreading it out more. So if you've got a big live video coming up, tell 5 of your friends or family, it doesn't matter who. If they are in your ideal audience, then their audiences are going to see it, some of them. And if they're in the same space as you, then their audience is going to be similar to you, so that's going to be really helpful. But just tell people, say, can you please watch? I'd be really grateful if you watch. And if they can comment as well, all the better. And the comments need to be like more than 1 word, more than like 2 words, and certainly not numbers, because it will flag up that this is a bit strange if that's the case. They want normal conversations to be going, and that will help the algorithm. So that is point number 1. Okay, point number 2. So if you've got a podcast or a live video, why not have a guest? Why not go live or do your podcast show with somebody else? This is really, really good if you're a bit nervous, maybe about a particular topic, or you're new to the whole thing. It's a new platform for you. Something is making you a little bit nervous. It's really good to have somebody there to bounce ideas off, to chat to. Because if they're a guest that you are having on your show, they can do most of the talking. Woohoo! What is there not to love about that? And if they share it out to their people, their audience, maybe their email list, maybe their social media channels, and if they can get people to watch or listen, all the better. You will definitely get more viewers, more listeners onto it. Now, if you're doing a live video, you can schedule the live video using a tool like Restream. So Restream actually have made a YouTube video. They've got a really good YouTube channel. I think it's just called Restream actually. So Stream, one word. So go and have a look at that, and they've done a YouTube video with some of these points here. So it's a really great shortened version of what I'm saying. I'm giving you all the juicy bits today. Woohoo! Who doesn't love a juicy bit of training? And Restream are a really easy, fun platform to use to multi-stream, which I'm going to be talking about in a minute. I'll explain what that is. But the other thing that they do, and they do it really easily, is that you can schedule your live video, and it's miles easier than trying to do it through Facebook on your computer. Their thing they call the live video producer is a bit of a pain in the neck. They've improved it a lot, but still, I really wouldn't recommend it for anyone. So use something like StreamYard, use something like Restream. What I really prefer about Restream to StreamYard is a great platform. Loads of people use it. Shout out StreamYard if you do use it or you know of it in the below by typing. But yeah, it's great, but it is a bit, it just looks a little bit basic, I think. Restream have got these really nice overlays that you can easily add, or your own branding. It's just a bit more colourful, a bit more fun, personally, I think, and it's slightly more rounded shapes going on with Restream. So yeah, if you know about Restream, you can shout out them below as well. So within a tool like that, you can easily schedule your live video, and then people can click that they're interested. They can click that they're going. They can also click that they're not going, but still, even if they do that, they'll be starting to get interaction with that post, and it will start to be shared out a bit more. They can also comment on the post and say, oh, I'm really looking forward to this, or can you answer my question about that, and encourage them to do that. It creates a sort of event, as it were, in Facebook particularly. But there's other platforms as well that I'm going to be talking about a little bit. But that is also how you can get more viewers and listeners by going live or podcasting with a guest, and they can put it on their profiles. They can email about it. If you give them graphics and if you give them some content, it's going to encourage them to share it more. If you just, don't tell them anything and say, tell everybody about it, it's harder for them to do that. So why don't you send them a little thumbnail of your show? Make it bright, maybe had both of your faces on there, say clearly with the title of what it is, and that's easy for them to share. And then you could do a little précis that they could easily just copy and paste, or just press the share button to share it out. So make it really easy for your guest, and then you'll definitely get more viewers there. Also, a guest can bring a fresh perspective to your show, your podcast episode. It just gives a nuance, doesn't it? Do you know that, when a teacher, teaches you something and you're like, yes, I've heard that all before. This happened to me earlier, actually. Somebody gave me a coaching session, which was so lovely. And I was thinking, yes, heard that before. And then they said something, and it was the same wording that I've heard before, and it was the same subject and information that I've heard before, but something hit a light bulb in my head over that even though I've been taught these things before, they've gone in one ear and out the other, something made it click. And that may happen with your audience. Oh, excuse me. I've got this little timer. Hang on. Oh, I'll try and chuck that out the door. Oh, isn't it funny? Woohoo! Things going wrong. So what was I saying? So a guest can bring a fresh perspective, and your audience can learn. They can have a light bulb moment, which you've been maybe droning on and on about this same exact thing every single episode, and it's gone in one ear and out the other, but you've got a guest and suddenly your audience is like, oh wow, I never realized that. So that can really help. So you get to their audience and your audience. So that is the second way that you can get more views and more listens. Right, number 3, I just teased this a little bit, and it's called multi-streaming. Multi-streaming. So this means that with third-party tools, and you can do it a bit in the Facebook computer browser edition, if you go live into there, the live video producer, although I really wouldn't recommend it, to say that again, you can stream to multiple places at the same time. So this doesn't just mean Facebook. This can mean the different places on Facebook. So your profile, and if you pay for the tool, you can then go onto a page and into maybe your group. Maybe you've got a Facebook group. Maybe you're in a Facebook group that you're maybe an admin of, or maybe not, but you're allowed to go live in there. You could go live in there as well. You could go live in multiple places in just Facebook, but then that's not just Facebook. You can add LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, Amazon Live. You know about Amazon Live shopping? It's really a game changer what you can do with certain third-party tools. So again, I'm going to shout out Restream. I'm going to shout out Ecamm Live, which is what I'm using now, and it is fan-dabby-doodah. So you can do that. Now, if you've created a podcast and you haven't gone live and then created a podcast, which is what I tend to do for my show, really, really easy to repurpose it like that. But if you don't want to do that, that's fine. And so you've gone straight into a podcast. Well, you can share it everywhere, can't you? You can just share it afterwards. And let's talk about how to share it now. And this is where there's some really juicy tips. So if you haven't got a pen and a paper now, I would really recommend that you go and get yourself a pen. You go and get yourself a piece of paper and make some notes, because this is gold. And I am going to be creating a toolkit with these recommendations, and it's obviously going to be a paid toolkit. So repurpose how to get more views and more listens to your live stream or your podcast, and put it everywhere, sprinkle it everywhere, and then you can send the link to the original video so people can watch that. Are you ready? This is how you can repurpose. So you can do little highlights of your show. So that can be various things. That can be like a long form post, a short form post. It can be quotes. It can be an audiogram. I'll explain these in a minute. It can be like you could make a reel out of it. You can make video babies out of it. I'll tell you about that later. Audiogram, I think I've said that, haven't I? You can make a graphic, like a Pinterest graphic. So there's so many things that you can do. So let's get into it. If you just say, on Instagram, for example, this is what a lot of people do. New episode out now, click here. It's called this. And that's great that you're telling people about it, but it's not really Instagram friendly, and it's not really any of the other social media places friendly, maybe apart from Twitter. Most people, though, even on Twitter, aren't really going to click on that. You want to use the platform the way that people are wanting you to use it, if that makes sense. So a really good idea that I've seen some of the people that I follow on Instagram, what they do is they do like a blooper video, or you could do a blooper audiogram. You know, we all make mistakes. I can do a blooper out of that alarm bell that rung a minute ago. I probably will do that, actually. So you just create a little section, and you can change the shape of your video so it's square for Instagram or whatever platform, or if it's a story, you can make it longer. And if that's too confusing for you, just play the video on your TV, computer monitor, and just hold your phone up on video and just record it like that. Keep your hands steady, or get what I recommend, a tripod. And you'll see in my kit list some tripods that I recommend. So yeah, make a blooper video out of the little offcuts. That really works well. That's hilarious. People love things like that. Take one point that you've made and make either a little audiogram of it or a little video of it. Or you could do a long form post based on what you're talking about. You could say, you could talk about a blooper moment. You could say, you'll never guess what happened on my podcast, on my live video. You never guess what. You can use some tools that are free, like Munch, or cute name, isn't it? Or headliner.app to make your video vertical quite easily without you having to go into some sort of video editor. And then you can put that into your stories, into your YouTube shorts, into your Instagram, etc. Yeah, you can make a long form post all about what you talked about and link to your original video. You can do a blog post. I love doing this because the SEO, search engine optimization, doesn't read your lips. It's not very good at reading sound. So if you had like a podcast or a live video and you've posted that in various places on Google, wherever, it won't be able to read what you've said. So it needs to be in written form for you to start getting people to hear your solutions to their problems. If they type in a problem, how do you blah, blah, blah. If you've just got a video or something with no written content there, then it probably won't come up. Now, YouTube will come up if you've got either in your title or in the timeline, you've got your solution to that problem, if those words appear. So blog posts are fantastic. Pinterest graphic, just get the main essence of what you were talking about in your podcast episode or your live video and get that on there. That is repurposing done. In a nutshell, let me know if that's helpful. Let me know. So Melissa is taking notes. Well done, and applause for you, Melissa. Well done. Yoo-hoo. So yeah, you're a podcasting student of mine, aren't you, Melissa? And yeah, I'm really excited to see and hear what you're going to be doing, what a difference you're going to be making in the world with your content. So that's brilliant. Thank you. Really glad you're taking notes. Hope you're getting stuff from it. So we're on to number 5 now. So plan for the unexpected. So when we have a video, a live video, or when we have a podcast, we need to basically plan it out. Have a plan of action, and we can call these a run of show. So write out exactly what is happening, and you know, all sorts of things can happen which will stop our flow, might throw us off guard. So this is mine. I've actually typed it out on the screen as well, but I like to write it and have it in front of me, sort of propped up against the screen, because trying to see notes on the screen as well as my video content and your comments is a bit of a mishmash. So I like to have that there. So they are my run of show notes. So basically what I've got in there is the title. I've got my intro, which is basically, what do you have this problem? Watch this show and I will tell you 5 points for blah, blah, or whatever, and help you with that problem. And I have a call to action at the end as well. So, plan for it. The second thing is plan for the unexpected by having a checklist. Now, I'm wearing a special top today. You're on mute. It says you're on mute. This is such a typical thing for us who do live video and podcasting. It's so typical that lots of people have created a whole line of merchandise based on this. You're on mute. because, you know, it's just so funny. We all do it. And saying that, during my show, as well as having the checklist, and I've got it in my mind most of the time now, because, you know, I'm pretty au fait with doing this sort of stuff, she says. She says, right in front of me on my screen, I've got my sound levels going up and down. And every so often, I'm just double checking that you can hear me. I'm double checking that I'm not muted. And on Ecamm Live, you can do that. There's a little window that you can bring to look and check that you're on the right microphone and that it is not muted. So that is a game changer. Things like, you know, are you in a quiet room with the door shut? Have you got air conditioning on? Have you turned that off? Or a fan or something that's noisy? Have you turned off your notifications on your computer? All these sorts of things. And to have a checklist, and I've actually got a checklist. If you want it, just write checklist and I'll find it and send it to you. So it's really helpful to have a checklist, planning for the unexpected. And then, you know, your show is going to be more professional. People will know what to expect if you have a run of show, and it will go more smoothly and they'll really enjoy your show. Now, the next thing that is so important, and so many people sort of forget to do this, make sure that you can see who's watching and who is liking and commenting. And especially if they comment, do shout them out. Please do shout them out. With a tool like this, I can put a comment on here like, Melissa, I was mute on my mobile. Oh no. Do you know, there's something about that as well that I might just drop in here. We were having a conversation on Melissa knows a wonderful friend of ours who's got it called Ian Anderson Gray, and he had a live event last week up in Newcastle called the Confident Live Masterclass. And somebody was saying something that it just, I was just laughing away because it's happened to me. So when we go live on our phone, you just have to be careful what sort of connection that you're using. So with some connections, this one is an interesting way that I've connected this. It's actually sticky taped to stick the back to the phone. But anyway, if you've got one that clamps at the side, just be really careful it doesn't clamp on the volume buttons. I've done that before and it's clamped it to silent, and that is such a pain if you do that, because then you know it'll go on mute. So just be really careful. So plan for the unexpected. And anyway, if something does happen, use your charm and just laugh it off. It is funny. It's funny. Okay, so the sixth thing, guys, and then if you've just joined me, it's absolutely fine because I am going to do a really quick, mega quick recap in a moment. And what my new strategy is to have my phone on this Joby Pro Telepod tripod. And I am creating what I can use as a reel. You might have seen my reel from my last week's show. And it's there, it's right there. The only thing is that I don't have my Apple microphone, which would really improve the sound quality. So that's what I'm doing. I'm at the end of the live video, I'm doing a mega quick recap, which I can chop out and use on YouTube and things, because YouTube, I am live on YouTube right now, but people don't really like sitting there watching half an hour videos. So a short, quick, snappy video is much, much better for YouTube, and certainly better for shorts, reels, etc. So that's what I do. So sixth point. Okay, and then stay to the end, because I have a special announcement. Really excited. I've got a live masterclass coming up in a few weeks, so I'll let you know about that in a minute. So sixth thing is to get more viewers, get more listeners on your content that you've poured your heart out, you've taken time and energy and love, and you've got all this helpful information that you're giving for free. You want people to be able to connect with it. You want to grow your business. You want to grow your audience. You want to make sales. You want to get it out there. You must make it SEO friendly. Okay, search engine optimization friendly. So basically, you want a title that grabs people's interest. It maybe answers problems that they've got. You might have heard of Sean Cannell from Think Media, who's got massive YouTube channels, and he teaches YouTube. He calls it, and this is a bit more specific for YouTube, but he calls it what you need to do is answer specific questions. Answer specific questions. So find out what your audience need and try and answer a specific question. And if you have a title that's got those keywords in it and it intrigues people, maybe makes people think, oh yes, I need this, that's really going to help. And then those words, those published typed words are going to go into the Google places and they're going to get out there, especially if after the fact you make a blog post about it as well, or show notes for your podcast if you want to. So show notes are basically a transcription of what you said, and you don't have to write it all out, guys. You really don't have to write it all out. 2 shout outs for really quite cheap softwares that do that for you, plus they do a billion other things. One of them is Descript, so like describe, but instead of the B it's Descriptor. And the other one is Alitu, Alitu, Alitu. Both of them transcribe your podcast or your live video. They are really fan-dabby-doo-dah. So let me know if you want to check them out. Make your thumbnail really eye-catching. I'd love to know if you saw my thumbnail for this show today. So make it nice and bold with the words. Maybe have a picture of you. Whatever. People love that sort of thing. And you could poll your audience as well to see what questions they have, what you can answer. And if they don't say anything, and you are doing a live Q&A, which is actually a really good idea to do, or you're doing a podcast Q&A, you don't get any questions in beforehand, you think, oh no, this is a total disaster. Just make sure that you've got questions that you know that people are asking. You've scouted Facebook groups and you know what people are asking. So I hope these so far have been really helpful. So let me go through them really quickly with you, and then I will tell you about this free training that I've got coming up, which I'm very, very excited about. So here goes, guys. So do you want to create more impact, more authority, more audience, more listens, more watches on your live videos or podcasts, and make that wonderful difference in the world that you've always longed to do, then here are 6 ways that you can get more views and listens on your podcast and or live videos. So first of all, shout out about it. When it's coming up, you can send emails. I'm going live in an hour. And the day before, I've got my podcast episode coming up. Do you want to come? It's all about this and this. So send emails, schedule your live video, or just put on social about your podcast that it is coming up. It's going to be downloaded at such and such a day, such a time, and for them to go and grab it. You could also give like prizes if you want as well. Create a really nice thumbnail that's eye-catching. You can DM people, your friends, and tell them that you have this show coming up, and can they please listen to it? So the more people who watch or listen, the algorithm for both those platforms is really going to be great. So go live or podcast with a guest. Not only does this really make it easy for you, but it adds a fresh perspective. It brings their audience in as well. Give them the graphics and content to make it really easy for them to share on all of their profiles and places as well. Third thing, multi-stream. Stream at the same time if you're going live before your podcast to multiple places. And if you're podcasting on its own, send out various bits of content, sprinkle them out across the interwebs, across social, across your email list. So repurposing, these are ways that you can repurpose really effectively. Everyone loves bloopers. If something went wrong like it did in my show, and you can see the link if you just ask for a link, find out my blooper from today's show. It was hilarious. Quotes from your show, audiograms, video babies. These are really short video clips of point 1, point 2, point 3. And you could make them into reels like I'm doing now as well. You can make a Pinterest graphic, all sorts of things. Number 5, plan for the unexpected. So make sure to get lots of views and people to love your show, make sure that it's got an interesting outline each time, that they know what's coming up, that if something goes wrong, it doesn't matter because you've still got this plan ahead. And make sure that you have a checklist before you press that record to check your microphone, to check that maybe your dog isn't going to bark and things like that. Have a little checklist. And the 6th thing is to make it SEO friendly. Make it what your audience are wanting. Answer their specific questions. Write the words out and put that on your website so that Google can start giving your content out to people who are typing in that they need that. Poll your audience for that too. So I hope that's really helpful. And if you would like to join my masterclass that's coming up for free, just put masterclass below and I will get you that details. So if you want to make an impact in 2023 and are thinking about making a podcast, then that masterclass is going to be for you. So thank you so much for listening. See you next time. So I'm still with you. Thank you. And I hope that was interesting. Mega quick. I don't know how long I took on that today. 4 minutes. It's a bit of a longer one. I'll probably cut that bit into mini things as well to get more views, to get more listens. So now this live show goes into Descript. It goes into Alitu. And I can easily cut bits out, make them into a long form post, make them into a blog post, into quotes. I can even clip my blooper there because in Descript, I can see the words like it's like a word processed document in front of me, and I can just highlight the bit where I go, oh no, my alarm's going off. And I can make that into a video, I can make that into an audiogram, I can do all those things in there. So I use a few tools. Canva is one that I use as well. Ecamm Live is what I make these beautiful branded videos with. And I can bring your comments on the screen, like Melissa has asked for the masterclass details. Thank you for that, Melissa. Thank you so much for watching. I really, really appreciate that. So thank you if you're on the replay. Love you to bits. Go and make an impact. I really, really want to help you to get your voice out there and make a difference, you know, and feel like you're making a difference, and feel confidence in what you're doing and enjoy what you're doing by making a difference and having the audience there. It's not the end of the world if you don't have an audience there. It really, really isn't. You can make a ton of money by no live viewers and no podcast listeners for ages, you know, infinite. It just takes one person to listen or watch that at some point in the future, and they might want to buy your one-to-one signature coaching package, which costs $10,000, whatever. That has happened lots of times. But you know, there's something wonderful about the interaction that you get when people review your podcast, or maybe they send you a DM and say, I loved your show. That's happened to me. It's so wonderful. Or they're live and commenting like lovely Melissa is. Thank you so much, and I will see you on the next one. Okay, so take care. God bless. Count your blessings and press record. You can do it. Take care, everyone. Have a good day. I've got no music at the moment, so I'm singing to you. Okay, guys. Thanks a lot. God bless. Bye.